When wearing new clothes, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would make a very interesting dua wherein he would say, Allahumma lakal hamd, anta kasawtanihi, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min sharrihi wa sharri ma suni'a lahu. Oh Allah, I'm wearing this clothing. I seek protection from the evil of the clothing and the evil for which it was made. When somebody thinks about this dua, the first thought that comes to their mind is, how can clothing bring about evil? Because shar in evil refers to something very dangerous, something malicious, something with negative consequences. Yet Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam very explicitly would say, وَأَعُوذُ بِكَ مِنْ شَرِّهِ وَشَرِّ مَا صُنِعَ لَهُ. I seek protection from the evil of my clothing. And here comes the psychology of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because when somebody wears clothing, there can either be worldly and ukhrawi benefits or worldly and ukhrawi harm. How so? Just take a good example. On the day of Eid, when we're wearing our clothes, we feel a sense of superiority. Think about a day where you're dressed in your best, you're smelling great, you have your best clothes, your best outfit, everything, and you walk by and you see somebody in subpar average clothing. The first thought that comes to your mind is, what I am wearing makes me superior to that person. It's inevitable. It's very hard when you're wearing very good clothing. Think about this. When you're going to a nikah function and you're dressed well and you're walking to the function and you see people walking into the groceries or you see people driving, you'll see the way they're dressed and you think to yourself, wow, look at the way I'm dressed and look at the way that person is dressed. So even something as minor, something as insignificant as my clothing can be a source of evil if left unchecked. So Rasulullah ﷺ is teaching us that everything from something major to something minor has both good potential and bad potential. And from my clothing to my food, to my interactions, to my income, I seek Allah's protection from the bad potential and I ask Him for the good potential. And that's something we should do regardless of whatever is in our lives. So for my clothing, I'm wearing my shoes, and nowadays I think to myself, how can shoes be a means of bad? SubhanAllah, if you're just even into the culture of shoes today, you'll see how people vie and compete with one another. That, oh look, I bought my shoes for $100. I'm taking pictures of it, I'm posting about it. I get proud because of what I'm wearing in my shoes. Where like 100 years ago, people used to think what you put under your feet is something humiliating. Whereas the culture today is, my shoes, they depict my social standing. If I got some Air Ones, if I have some really good Nikes, then all of a sudden I have social clout that other people don't have. So something as insignificant as shoes can be a reason for me to get pride in my heart, and if left unchecked, could be something innocuous and innocent, but can fester and get worse and worse. So Rasulullah ﷺ reminds us, be also mindful of that. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to be mindful of everything, and even something as insignificant as our clothing, inshallah.